Today is the day that's going to make many of my subscribers happy. Today I am rebooting the AI series, except instead of working with that old deprecated code I wrote 3 years ago, we're going to completely start over with some new methods. So today I'm basically going to show you how to set up your grammar and your responses without hard coding it in. So basically all of our responses and all of our grammar are going to be saved in external text files outside the program so they can be changed dynamically. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and create a new project. It's going to be a Windows Form application. We're just going to call this our voice bot v2. So once we get this all started up, double click on our form and we're going to have some code right here. So I will go ahead and make this bigger so you guys can see. What we're going to get started with first is adding our files. So to do so, we need to go to our home directory. We're going to go this PC, C drive, and in here we're going to create a new folder and we're going to call this voice bot. Enter, enter. Now you're in the directory. We're going to make two files. We're going to have response.txt and we're going to have grammar.txt. Okay, so then once we have those two, we can put those aside, and in here we can start adding our code. So first we're going to do string grammar file is equal to file.read all lines. We're going to put our @ sign right here because we are going to a directory, and we're going to type C voicebot / and we're going to do grammar.txt. If we can spell it right, grammar.txt file system.io. Make sure that's imported. Speaking of importing, before I forget, we're going to go to references, add reference, speech, click on the box and press OK, and now we have speech added to our references. So right here, go ahead and fix this and see what's the fuss. Read all lines, blah blah blah. So now if we open up our grammar.txt, we can add our grammar, like our responses that we're expecting. So we'll have hello and how are you. Ooh. Okay, so we have our first two, and then in our responses we'll put we can put these side by side. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to make sure that these are on the same line. So for hello, we're gonna see we're gonna have our bot respond with hi, how are you? And then when we say how are you to the bot is gonna respond, I am good. How are you? Perfect. So now we have both those saved and we can continue writing our code. So it's just string, and this is going to be the response file. Response file.read all lines, and we're going to do our same @ sign C semicolon / voicebot / response.txt. Great. So now we have both of our files loaded, and we'll keep this nice and organized with comments. There we go. Let's go down a few lines. And now let's begin by starting our speech synthesis process. We're going to do using system.speech.synthesis, and then using system.speech.recognition. Perfect. Now that we have all of that in, we can start adding our recognition. Speech actually, we'll start with synthesis because it's easier. So we'll type speech synthesizer. Speech synth equals new. Oh boy. Speech synth equals new speech synthesizer. Okay. And now under that, speech recognition, we can start by adding our choices. And our choices we'll call grammar list is equal to new choices. Go ahead and add that, and we'll do speech recognizer engine, speech recognition equals new speech recognizer engine. Okay, so we have most of our variables set up. We can go into form 1. This is where we're going to initialize our grammar. So we'll go ahead and put that there. And we'll do grammar list dot add. And we'll just go ahead and throw grammar list, the grammar file right there. So now we're adding all of the context of our grammar file into our RAM grammar, which is the variable set up here. Then underneath that, we can go ahead and do grammar equals new grammar, new grammar builder. There we go. And then we'll do grammar list. Okay, so now that we have that done, we can get to the try loop. And in the try loop, we're going to put all of our initialization, speech recognition dot request recognizer update, recognize update. Okay. And then do speech recognition dot load grammar and grammar file. Perfect. Now under that, speech recognition again. Do speech recognized plus equals, let's just say recognized underscore speech recognized. Okay. Now that'll throw us an error right here, and we can just generate the method. Worry about that later. Now let's do speech recognition dot set input to default audio device. Okay, one more, speech recognition dot recognized async recognized mode dot multiple. I believe that will work, but we will find out sooner or later. This is going to be our catch, not our cache, our catch. This is basically if anything goes wrong, we can just do nothing because we'll deal with errors later. So now we should have everything done up in here. Actually, before we initialize our component, we are going to add our custom speech settings. Okay, and basically right here we're gonna set synth dot select voice by hints, and I'm just gonna make it a female voice because Windows handles male voices horribly. So voice gender dot female. Okay, now we are done inside of our public form. So let's go ahead and make another method right here. Public void say And right here, we can do string text. So basically, we're going to call this void whenever we want the speech synthesizer to say something. Speech synth dot. We're going to do speak async, so we don't interrupt any other threads. And then not that text. Perfect. So now this is where things get a little complicated. We're going to go in here. We're going to do a string result. We're going to do equals e dot result dot text. Perfect. I don't need that. And now this is where it gets a little interesting. Int response equals array dot index of. Okay, and then we're going to put grammar file, and then we're going to put our result. So basically, what we're doing here is we're finding out where. So int response is going to give us the line number of which what we said to the bot is on. And since our response file and our grammar file line up perfectly, it's going to find that line in the response file and give us that response. So now right under that, this is really easy. We're just going to do say with our method we made above. And in here, we're just going to do response file, and we're going to do response. And we are done. This is the basic way of doing it. We're just going to start up. Here is our text file. So these are our two commands. We can say hello.
Hi, how are you?
And it says hi, how are you? The
I am
exact
good.
line that we
How
put
are
in.
you?
And if I say how are you?
I am good. How are you?
It works perfectly. So I say hello.
Hi, how are you?
Works without a flaw. So.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. Maybe it has a few flaws, but we're not going to worry about that. In the next episode, in our response file, we're going to add.
How are you?
Shut up. We're going to add special commands. So say we want it to run a piece of live code, we're going to do a plus, and then we're going to put our actual code. And whatever that code is, we'll figure out then. So basically, say you want to figure out the weather is, you're going to put a plus, and then you're going to put weather. And then in our code, we'll recognize it. We'll recognize if it is plus weather, and if it's plus weather, we're going to run a custom void that we're going to make. So for now, we have simple say something, get a response, and in the next episode, we'll elaborate and make it more complicated. Thanks for watching. For this series, I'm going to be putting all the code in the description so there aren't people having issues. So try your best to follow along and type this. It's not that hard. But if you're having problems, go ahead and download the code and put it into your script editor. And if you have any problems with speech recognition or synthesis, go ahead and check and make sure you added the reference to the speech recognition. Otherwise, it will not work. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.